जय श्री नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बिंदु की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय,
जगत श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gaurang.
Hare Hare
Hari Bol.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for joining today's evening for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. And today we have a guest speaker, His Grace Ramcharan Prabhuji. So he will take us to this Bhagavatam class today. And Prabhuji, you want to start? So I think everyone knows about Prabhuji. So, and he is a very sincere and senior devotee, has been serving ISKCON Philadelphia for last 20 years and is very dedicated. We all know him. So, yeah, please, Prabhuji, please start the class. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam today. Are you going to share screen, Prabhu, or I'm going to share?
Yeah, you share, Prabhuji. If you want, I can share, because is it easy for you to share, or I can?
No, I don't have capability to share. So I think you need to make me co-host, or you give me the access.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime,
I made you co-host, Prabhuji. Yeah.
We'll start with the Jai Radha Madhava prayer. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodhanandana Brajajanna Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajanna Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Shila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Nitai Gaur Haribol 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 Nitai Gaur Haribol जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवर्जकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमत अभय चरणारिन भक्ति वेदांतो स्वामी महाराज जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवर्जकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय
जय
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय
Jai.
लामाचार्य श्रीहरिदास ठाकुर की जय
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसति गौर भक्तवृंद की जय
Jai.
श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंज गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की जय
Jai.
वृंदावन धाम की जय
Jai.
धाम की जय
Jai.
गंगा मैया की जय यमुना मैया की जय
Jai.
तुलसी देवी की जय तुलसी देवी की जय हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shishi Guru and Shishi Gauranga. All glories to Shishi Guru Maharaj ki jai. Namo Vishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining today. We are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, and the text number 7. So I'll recite this verse, and then after that, some of you can recite, and then we'll discuss this. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam च यद अहेतुकम् वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योगा प्रयोजिता जन्यति आशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानम च यद अहेतुकम् वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योगा प्रयोजिता जन्यति आशु वैराग्यम Jnanam chayat ahay. Some of you can recite, please.
वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजितः तन्नयाति असुवैराग्यम ज्ञानम चं यद अहेतुकम्
वासुदेवे भगवती भक्ति योग प्रयोजितः जनायत्याशु वैराग्यम ज्ञानं च यद हेतुकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitah Janayati Yasu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahetukam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Vasudeva.
Sorry. Sorry,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead, Prabhuji.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayanti Ashu Vairagam Jnanam cha yad ahaitikam. Thank you.
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatye Asuvairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vasudevim Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Suvairagyam Jnanam cha yadhetukam. Hare Krishna.
Anybody want to recite? Okay. So we'll read synonym translation purport. Synonyms: Vasudevi, unto Krishna; Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead; Bhakti Yoga, contact of devotional service; Prayojita, being applied; Janyati, does produce; Asuhu, very soon; Vairagyam, detachment; Jnanam, knowledge; Cha, and Yat, that which; Ahetukam, causeless. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanand Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Those who consider devotional service to Supreme Lord Shri Krishna to be something like material emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realization are recommended. According to them, bhakti, or the devotional service of the Lord, is meant for those who cannot perform high-grade activities. Generally, it is said that bhakti cult is meant for Shudras, Vaishyas, and the less intelligent woman class. But that is not the actual fact. The bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of bhakti. To achieve the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is a great science, and it is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So what to speak of high-class men like the qualified Brahmanas and great self-realized kings? The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc. are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. The process of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to the material activities. Becoming detached from the material things does not mean becoming inert altogether. As men with poor fund of knowledge think, Neshkarma means not undertaking activity that will produce good or bad effects. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non-essential does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detachment from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. The bhakti cult is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of bhakti cult, with the application of positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and he becomes attached to superior things. Similarly, the bhakti cult, being the supermost occupation of the living being, lets him out of the material sense enjoyment. That is a sign of a pure devotee. He is not a fool, nor is he engaged in inferior energies, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by dry reasoning. It actually happens by the grace of the Almighty. In conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge and detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principle of the bhakti cult. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. Om Ajnanatimiradasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadikamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajim Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanyadhyam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganlaita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha नमा ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गुरुत्तश नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं भक्तवतारं भक्तक्यं नमामि भक्त शक्तिकं वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् श्रमतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तन हृदयन्ते सुभद्राणि विदनोति स्वस्नाम नष्ट प्राय शब्देषु नित्यं भागवसेव्य भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी. Hare Krishna. So today's verse here, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Pariyojitaha Janyati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Hetukam. So this verse is actually the second part of the previous verse, which we basically discussed combined. So in the first chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is in the beginning of first 3 verses of the Bhagavatam, there is a glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. In that glorification, Srila Vedvyas Muni glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam, saying that Dharmaha prohojit ketvotra paramo nirmasranam sataham Vedyam vastum atra vastu shabdam tapataryon moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kimvaha paririshvaraha sadyo hridiya vruditra kritvi susruvish takshana. So what does that mean? The mean is that the Srimad Bhagavatam is basically free from any dharma which is Ketav dharma. So what Srimad Bhagavatam then teach? Ketav dharma means cheating religion. So in in Vedas, there are some duties mentioned for the living entities according to Varna and Ashrama, and according to various material positions. There are duties mentioned for the living entities. So those living entities are basically engaged in these duties, which is basically dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You might have heard this term, that dharma, artha, kama, moksha, which is religious principles, economic development, sense gratification or satisfying your sense desires, and then ultimately looking for liberation. So this dharma, artha, kama, moksha is glorified various places in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Vedas. So when Vedvyas Muni was compiling the Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni instructed him to compile a Srimad Bhagavatam which is full of bhakti and glorification of devotees. In other scriptures, Srila Vedvyas Muni actually glorified Krishna, but there's much more glorification of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedvyas Muni is saying that I am removing this, like dharma prohojit ketavotra. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, this ketav dharma, which is cheating principle, means where people are being engaged into the material sense gratification activity, is completely removed. Then what is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam glorifies pure bhakti. Pure bhakti, and that bhakti is performed by paramo nirmasranam sataham. The people who are non-envious, people who are pure by heart, they perform they actually study Srimad Bhagavatam and they perform the pure bhakti. And because Srimad Bhagavatam is written by Srila Vedvyas Muni, who is Mahamuni, so there is no other scripture to read. So that was the glorification. And the final line there, it says that Sadhyo Hridi Avruditraha Kritvi Susruvish Takshana. When any one of us or any living entity even have a desire to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or glorify Srimad Bhagavatam or read Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately at that time, Takshanat, at that immediate time, Lord Shri Krishna comes and resides in the heart of that devotees and never goes back from there. Avruddhate trakitbi susrubish takshanat. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam is glorified. And also in the next verse, it is said that Nigam kalpa taror galitam phalam sukha mukha dambri darav samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamariyam muraho rasika bhui bhavuka. So in that verse, Vedvyas Muni inviting all of us, and he's saying that the Srimad Bhagavatam is Nigam kalpa taror galitam phalam. Nigama means the Vedas, the Vedic literature. Kalpaha means the desire. And then kalpa means is the this tree. Kalpa taror. This kalpa vaksha is the desire tree. And galitam phalam. It is a ripened fruit of this Vedic desire tree. This Vedic literature is a desire tree, and this Srimad Bhagavatam is a galitam phalam. Galitam phalam means it's a ripened fruit of this Vedic literature. It's generally like when we see like a green mango is not that tasty, but when the mango is ripened, it's become very tasty. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is like a ripened fruit. Sukmukad Amrit Dharva Sammitam. And it is touched by the lips of the Sukdev Goswami. Because Sukdev Goswami is Sukmukad. As we see that like if a fruit is touched by a parrot, it become more tasty. So similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam is touched by the Sukdev Goswami, so it's become more tasty. Pibat Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. It is full of rasa, full of ras alayam. Like we see Vidyalayam, we see like Aushadhalayam. Similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam is ras alayam. It is full of rasas, and we have to drink, we have to relish. Mur aho rasika bhui bhavuka. He's inviting all the rasikas. Please come and relish the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam explains the highest rasa, the bhakti in totality, and that is basically mentioned here. So in this first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, the thousands of sages in the forest of Naimisharanya, they ask questions to Suta Goswami. And one of the first question that they ask is that what is the absolute and ultimate good for people in general, which is basically the 1.1.9. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.9, this first question was asked by the various sages. They saying, Tatra Tatra Anjasha Ayushman Bhavata Yad Vinishchitam Pumsham Ekan Tata Shreyas Tanna Shamshitum Arasi. So what does that mean is that they actually ask for all the people in general, for the people, especially the human beings, Pumsa Ekantata Shreyas. Ekantata means what is one and absolute way. They are asking that what is the one way. There can be multiple ways, but they are asking one, the topmost way, which is Shreyas, which is the beneficiary for all the human beings in the totality. That if whatever you have concluded by hearing Srimad, all the Vedic literature, please tell us one and the absolute way which is good for the all human being totality. So that was here, like that was the question that they say, what is the absolute and ultimate good for people in general? So to answer that question, these two verses, the verse number 1.2.6 and the verse number 1.2.7 is mentioned. So we so I just go through the I read the verse 1.2.6. It says, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshajagi ahitu ki apreta atma suprasiddhi. So here Suta Goswami is saying for the pumsam, for all living entity, for the all human being, paro dharmo, the topmost dharma, because living entity have like human being have many dharmas, like Varnashram dharma according to their their physical position and their body position. They have dharma like according to Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, according to Ashrama, Brahmacharya, Grasta, Vanapra, Sannyas. And then along with that, there are many other dharmas which are mentioned for the different positions by the living entity. But the topmost dharma is that Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adhokshaji. The topmost dharma for all the human being is bhakti. And which bhakti? Adhokshaji. The bhakti for Adhokshaj. Adhokshaja means here Lord Krishna. And that bhakti should be ahituki apriyata. The bhakti should be unmotivated, uninterrupted. That bhakti should be performed. Now, then in today's verse, so when we perform this bhakti, when we perform this ahituki bhakti, this pure bhakti, when we perform to Lord Krishna, what exactly we get? What is the byproduct? Bhakti will definitely give us the love of Godhead. That's what we are looking for. Bhakti means we achieve the love of Godhead, we achieve the highest abode in the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. But what exactly, what other things we'll get? Because in scripture, there are various other things are also mentioned. So here, in this verse, it is said that Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyatu Ashu Vairagyam Gyanam Cha Dehetugam. when a person performs this Vasudeva Bhagavati. So Vasudeva Bhagavati means the bhakti towards Lord Krishna. Vasudev, who is Vasudev? Vasudev is son of Vasudev. Vasudev is the father of Lord Krishna. So Vasudev is also the pure goodness. Where Lord Krishna appears in pure goodness platform, that person is called Vasudev. So Vasudeve Bhagavati. So Bhagavati means unto the personality of Godhead. Unto the Krishna, who is supreme personality of Godhead, when we perform this bhakti yoga, towards Lord Krishna. So somebody might say that, what about Vishnu, Lord Ram? There are various forms of Vishnu Tattvas. But here specifically say Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. So when we perform bhakti to Krishna, that's very important thing here is that this verse explains that Krishna Bhakti, even though we can perform to Lakshmi Narayan or Sitaram or other forms of the Lord, but here is specifically mentioned about the bhakti to Krishna, Lord Krishna. So Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. When somebody performs bhakti to Lord Shri Krishna directly, like how we can perform bhakti to Krishna? By perform, as Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mame yavshi satyam te pratijani priyosimi sarv dharmani pratajya mamekam shranam vraja aham tvam sarpape bhyo moksheshyami mashucha. These are the two supermost or the most confidential instructions Krishna gave it to Arjuna at the end of Bhagavad Gita. So when we perform that type of bhakti to Krishna, so then what happened? Janyati. Janyati means, Jan means produce, like we say Janma. Janma means, when we say Janma means which takes birth. So from this bhakti, what takes birth? Very fast. When we perform pure bhakti, very fast. Janyati. Janyati means very, very fast. It does produce. Asu means very fast. Like Asu means very fast. Like we see that one of the name of Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. Ashutosh means Ashu means very fast. Tosha means get pleased. Right? So that's my name, Ashutosh. So here Asu means very soon. Does produce. What exactly get produced? Two things get produced. Vairagyam. Vairagyam. Vairagyam is detachment. So detachment and jnanam. Jnanam means the knowledge. Chayad ahetukam. And causeless. Causeless. And then when we perform this bhakti, which is causeless bhakti to Lord Shri Krishna, then what do you get? So if we put everything in translation, it says, by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So this knowledge and detachment are the two things which are the byproduct of bhakti. Like we don't need to do extra endeavor for that. When you perform bhakti, automatically we'll get knowledge and automatically we get detachment. But what kind of knowledge we'll get and what kind of detachment we'll get, we'll discuss in the purport. Because this knowledge, somebody might say that, are we going to get this knowledge about physics, chemistry, mathematics, or say this material world knowledge? Is that the knowledge we're going to get by doing bhakti? Or detachment means from what detachment? What kind of detachment is that? So here, Srila Prabhupada explained that in purport, we'll go through that. So here Prabhupada says that those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna to be something like material emotional affair may argue that in the revealed scripture, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic power, and similar other process of transcendental realization are recommended. So in the first paragraph, Srila Prabhupada explained that how bhakti is universal and how bhakti is supreme. So many people think that bhakti is emotions. Like see, like people who are doing bhakti, we are basically attached to deities. Right? So generally bhakti we perform by offering bhoga to Krishna. If there are ninefold devotional service that Prahlad Maharaj explained, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So in that, one of the worship is deity worship. And like as Prabhupada actually mentioned that one of our main anga of bhakti is that we perform deity worship in our temple through the Naraj Pancharatra Vidhi. So when we perform that deity worship, so many people who are basically called themselves as Vedantists, or people who are reading the Vedanta, they say, well, bhakti is for the people who cannot read Vedanta. It's more of like emotional activity, right? So that's why here Prabhupada says that those who consider devotional service to Supreme Lord to be something like material emotional affair, like here Prabhupada talking about people who are Gyanis, people who are Vedantist, who are reading Vedas or Upanishads, and they are calling bhakti as something emotional affair. Because generally in bhakti, emotions plays very big role. Definitely. Emotions are very, very big role, because those emotions are not ordinary emotions actually. We have seen in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are various emotions that devotee have towards Krishna. But those emotions are not material, they are transcendental, because we have that emotion towards Krishna, not towards any material living being. So that's why people think that, like, because they bring Krishna to the material platform, they think that Krishna or Lord Ram or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are somebody who is a like material human being. So they think that when we become attached to Krishna, it's like a material emotional affair. But here Prabhupada say that these people think that in the revealed scripture, sacrifice, tapaha, charity, dana, austerity, give sacrifice, and then knowledge. Knowledge is basically like jnana, and then mystic power, yoga, and similar the process of transcendental are recommended. So they think that only bhakti cannot work. You need to do sacrifice, you need to do charity, you need to do austerity, you need to do knowledge, you need to read scriptures, you need to do mystic powers, and then all those kind of things are recommended, right? So according to them, bhakti or devotional service to Lord is meant for those who cannot perform high grade activities. So that's why they discriminate. They say that these other processes are higher than bhakti, because bhakti is basically for the people who are not knowledgeable, who are more emotional. So that's the point. They try to downgrade bhakti by that, right? And though they say, and they also give another argument. This is Prabhupada actually presenting the argument from opponents, what other people say about bhakti. So then we're going to defend that. Then Prabhupada is going to argument how we are going to defend, how we are going to defeat our opponents by giving the positive arguments. So here he's saying, generally it is said that bhakti cult is meant for Shudra, Vaishyas and less intelligent woman class. Now see, this is very interesting that they are saying bhakti is done by the people who are low in society, like Shudras, Vaishyas, or the woman class, which basically less intelligent that they say. But see, and now Prabhupada said, but that is not actual fact. Why? Because the bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activity, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. So Prabhupada always say that bhakti is sublime and easy. Sublime means it gives you the topmost result. Whatever we want to get it will give you the topmost, highest result of in whatever we can achieve by bhakti. And it is very easy. Why it's easy? Because anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Say, you say like, if we'll take this process of say, like charity. Charity only person, the people who can do charity is that when they have some wealth with them. If you don't, if a person is like is a bankrupt, it doesn't have anything, what kind of charity is going to give, right? And austerity, tapa. So tapa, who can perform tapa? Whose body is firm and strong. Like a small child cannot do tapasya, or an old person cannot do tapasya, or a person who is sick cannot do tapasya, like that. So these kind of things are not available for everyone. But bhakti is universal. That's why it is easy. Means Prabhupada say that even a dog can take part in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Even a child can take part in the chanting of the holy name. Bhakti means chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So anyone can take part in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's easy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Nam Nam Akari Bhaudha Nij Sarva Shaktis Tatra Arpita Nimita Smradena Kala. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that Nam Nam Akari Bhaudha Nij Sarva Shaktis Tatra Arpita Nimita Smradena Kala. In this chanting holy name of the Lord, there is no consideration of time, place, and circumstances. Even what kind of condition you are. You can chant in the day, in the night, in the morning, in the evening, in the office, in your home, wherever you are, whichever condition you are, whenever you are, doesn't matter. There is no consideration. You can chant any place, anywhere. That is very easy, isn't it? But other activity, you can't perform it. So that's why Prabhupada say it is sublime for pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with Supreme Lord. Because bhakti can bring you directly in contact with the Lord. We have example of Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj, he performed bhakti. And within 6 months, he was able to see Krishna face to face. Right? And we, on the other side, we have yogis and jnanis who are doing from thousands of years and thousands of lifetime, but they couldn't reach Krishna. But Dhruv Maharaj, within 6 months, he reached Krishna. He was able to see Krishna face to face. So, for pure devotees who are serious about bhakti, for them, bhakti will get in contact with Supreme Lord very fast. And we can directly come in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. And it is easy for neophyte who are just on the threshold of house of bhakti. Because see, anyone who come to Krishna consciousness, anyone who come to ISKCON, anyone who come to our movement, what we ask them first, chant Hare Krishna. And anyone can do it. See, bhakti is so easy that anyone can do it. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, there is a discussion between Nimi Maharaj and 9 Yogeshwaras. Nimi Maharaj and 9 Yogeshwaras, there was a discussion there. So there, one question was raised. What is the qualification for bhakti? Who is qualified to do bhakti? There was a question raised there. Who is qualified to do bhakti? The answer was very easy. The answer was anyone who have senses can do bhakti. Senses means, do you have tongue? I'm sure all of you have tongue, right? So, if you have tongue, you can perform bhakti 2 ways. One is by glorifying Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and by tasting Krishna Prasadam. Even a dog has tongue. If you give Prasadam to dog is doing bhakti, honoring Krishna Prasadam. Animals can perform bhakti. So there it says that anyone who has senses, Indriyavan, it says that Indriyavan, anyone who has senses can perform bhakti. Now, there was a definition of bhakti given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Who's going to tell me? Which says that we have to engage our senses in the service of Krishna. What is that definition? Can somebody tell me that?
Yeah. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we have that privilege. Anyabhileshita Sunyam.
No, I'm not asking for that one, the other one.
Sevanmike Jiva Sri Atha Sri Krishna Namadina.
No, not that one.
Okay, that
another definition of bhakti.
Sarvopadi Vinirmukta.
Yes, that one. Yeah, tell me, please tell me.
Yeah, my wife is going to tell Prabhuji, I think.
Sure, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena hrishikesasya sevanam bhaktiruttama.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's the verse we need to remember. Because in that verse, what is said that? It is a definition of bhakti. It is said that Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Sevanam bhaktir uchyate. Bhaktir uchyate means it is called bhakti. When it's called bhakti? When we used our senses in the service of master of senses. Rishikena rishikesha. See, our senses when we engage our senses, means when we use our eyes to see Krishna, when we use our tongue to taste Krishna prasadam, when we use our tongue to glorify Krishna, when we use our feet to go to temple of Krishna, when we use our hand to clean temple of Krishna, or when we use our hand to cook for Krishna, when we use our body to bow down in front of Krishna. So all these senses, when we use our senses in the service of master of senses, Rishikesha, this is called bhakti. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparitvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. That's called bhakti. So, and then on the first two lines, which is say that sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparitvena nirmalam. So, when we do that bhakti with giving up all false designation, that's become pure bhakti. But same verse can be used that when we start bhakti, at that time we are not at pure level. In the beginning, when we start bhakti, we are not at the pure level of purity. So, but it is said that when we perform bhakti, we will get free from all designation also. That is also a meaning of that verse. Both meanings are there. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparitena nirmalam. If you perform bhakti by giving up all false designation, then that bhakti become pure. But even if you don't perform pure bhakti, you perform bhakti, then you will get free from all designation. So then your bhakti will become pure. The point is that using your sense in the service of Krishna. That's why in the 11th canto it is said that who can perform bhakti? Indriyavan. You should have indriyas. Hand, eyes, nose, ear, these things. Now, example. Prahlad Maharaj performed bhakti when he was in the womb of his mother. So even though he did not came out from the womb of his mother, while he was in the womb of his mother, he performed bhakti by hearing from his Guru Maharaj, Narad Muni. And he became pure devotee while he is in the womb of his mother. So there, what kind of bhakti he performed? Shavanam, he was hearing. Only hearing, he was doing only hearing at that time. Right? So he performed bhakti, which is hearing. So he using his senses in the service of Krishna. So that is called service. Normally, people think that service means doing some physical activity. Many people think that, okay, let me do some seva. Okay, now if there is a Bhagavatam class going on, and then somebody say, okay, now let me go out and do some seva. Say they really don't understand what is the meaning of seva. Seva does not mean that cleaning the pots or cleaning the temple or putting this box here, that box here. Many people think that seva means physical service, which is misconception. Seva means engaging your senses in the service of Krishna. Even your tongue, if you are honoring prasadam, you are actually doing seva. But somebody might say, what kind of seva is that? The seva means people think that, oh, I should do some seva, means some physical activity I have to do. But actually, in scripture, seva means when we use our senses in the service of Krishna. That is seva. That is bhakti. So this seva is basically what we are doing is we are engaging our sense in the service of Krishna. So this indriyavan, when a person is who has indriya can actually perform bhakti. That's why Prabhupada say that it is easy for neophytes. Why I explained all these things is because just to prove that point that bhakti is easy for everyone. Anyone, even a small child, even a young boy, or even an old person, anyone can perform bhakti without any extra endeavor. At any situation, whether you are in India, whether you are in US, whether you are in Mars, whether you are on moon, whether you are on sun, whether you are on earth planet, whether you are on Brahmaloka, whether you are on Patal Loka. Doesn't matter where you are, whenever you are, it's a day, night time, morning, evening, doesn't matter. Anytime, anywhere you can perform bhakti. That is the beauty of bhakti. That's why Prabhupada said that it is easy for the neophytes. And to achieve the contact of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is a great science. And it is open for all living beings. As I said, it is open for all living beings. Bhakti is the only process which is open for everyone. Jnana and yoga, it is not open for everyone. Only people who can leave their house and go to Himalayas, they can perform that. But bhakti is performed by anyone. Even the householders can perform bhakti. If you go to Jnana school, or if you go to yoga, bhakti, Ashtanga yoga school, they will not take you, people will not take you who are householders. But bhakti is the only process which actually everyone can go. Everyone can actually apply for that process. So here, that's why Prabhupada say that including Shudras, Vaishya, women, and even those lower than low-born Shudras. So what to speak of high-class men like qualified Brahmanas and great realized kings. So when bhakti is for Vaishya, Shudras, women, and even low-born Shudras, so then bhakti should be for the high class also, right? For high class Brahmanas and Rajrishis. So that's why bhakti is universal. Bhakti is available everywhere, and everyone can do bhakti, while rather other processes are not for everyone. They have some qualification. For bhakti, the only qualification is you should have senses, and that you can engage your senses in the service of Krishna. That is bhakti. The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. And even though somebody might say that after performing bhakti, are we going to get the result of these other activities? Prabhupada said they will follow. How that is followed? It says in Bhagavad Gita. I'll show you. In Bhagavad Gita 8.28, Krishna says that what happens when you perform bhakti, and following that you will get all those things. Here he says, Vedeshu yaggeshu tapashu cheva daneshu yat punya palam pradishtam ateti tasaram idim viditva yogi paramsthanam upayati chadnyam. So in that verse it says that a person who accepts path of pure devotional service, this is in relation to what we are discussing, a person who accepts path of pure devotional service is not bereft of the result derived from studying the Vedas, Swadhyay, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical or speculative activities. And say simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these. That's why Prabhupada says corollary factor. A devotee will get benefit of everything together. It's all combined. He attains all this, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode Krishna. That's what Prabhupada says here. The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc. are corollary factor following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. So by performing bhakti, we are not bereft of anything. Everything is included there. Everything will follow bhakti. Now these two processes, jnana and vairagya, will also follow. That's what in the next Prabhupada is connecting this passage with the next one. And then he's saying, the principle of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. In whole Vedic scriptures, it is mentioned that anybody who is a transcendentalist, whether it's a jnana, yoga, or bhakti, these two are very important factors: knowledge and detachment. Knowledge about the spiritual facts, about the Krishna, which is given in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 7. The knowledge of the absolute. The chapter number 7 is knowledge of the absolute given in Bhagavad Gita. Then detachment, vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from the material attachments. For the material things, we need to get detached. So these two things are basically automatically follow after bhakti. The whole spiritual process led to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual. So when you perform bhakti, means when we do this devotional service, automatically we will get all knowledge about this material world and the spiritual world. How we are going to get? Because that knowledge will be revealed by Krishna into the heart of the all living entity. I give you example. So example is like, you know the story of Dhruva Maharaj. So Dhruva Maharaj, he was 5-year-old child. He left his father's house. At that time, he did not even go to kindergarten. He didn't study anything. He did not even go to preschool. He was in the home. And at the age of 5, he left the house he went outside and Narada Muni told him to go to Madhuban to perform tapasya to please Lord Krishna. And he went there and he performed bhakti for 6 months. After 6 months, Lord Krishna appeared in front of him, face to face. Then Prahlad Maharaj, when he saw the Lord in front of him, he thought, what I'm going to do, because Lord is in front of me and he want to glorify the Lord. But he couldn't know anything because he didn't know any Sanskrit. He don't know any grammar, any poetry, anything he doesn't know. So how to glorify the Lord? He want to glorify. He has a desire to glorify Lord, but he doesn't know anything. But when Krishna saw that desire of the living entity, because Krishna is sitting in the heart of all living entity. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Ishvara Sarvbhutanam Hardesha Arjuna Tishtati. I am sitting in the heart of all living entity. So as soon as Krishna see the desire of Prahlad, the Rumara, that he want to glorify me, Krishna immediately took his conch shell Panchajanya and touched the conch shell to the face of Dhruv Maharaj. And immediately Dhruv Maharaj become expert in all Vedas. And Veda means all the spiritual knowledge of material and spiritual world, everything. Whatever we know in this material world, all knowledge coming from Vedas. And Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj become expert in Vedas. So that's what Prabhupada says, that whole spiritual process led to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual. And the result of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection. When you get that knowledge, which is both material and spiritual, the result is that you will become detached from material affection. Moha. Moha, which is you get free from moha. And then you become attached to spiritual activity. Then you become attached to the Krishna. That's what we want. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. Rupa Goswami says that there's no need to renounce anything in this material world. People say that because things are material, when you see things are material and you renounce those material things by thinking that it's material, Rupa Goswami says that is Phalgu Vairagya. That means it is not really right Vairagya. It's not right detachment, because we are rejecting things based on that they are material. But devotees, what they see everything in relationship with Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Whatever we see, whatever we observe, whatever we come in contact, everything belongs to Krishna. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatam Jagat Ten Taktvina Bhunjita Ma Grada Kasudhanam. Shri Ishwaranand very clearly says that everything animated, inanimate in this material world is owned and controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the real proprietor. Krishna is the real enjoyer. Krishna is the real original creator. So when everything belongs to Krishna, what is to renounce there? We renounce things when we say it's belong to me. But there is nothing belong to us actually. It's all belong to Krishna. A devotee sees everything belong to Krishna. So when we see everything belong to Krishna, then what is to renounce actually? We nothing to renounce. Rather, we should engage everything in service of Krishna. That's called Yukta Vairagya. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagya Uchyate. So when we engage everything, whatever we have in our possession, like our house, our family, our car, our money, our bank balance, our laptop, our iPhone, everything, whatever we have in our possession, including our body, including our mind, our intelligence, when we use everything in service of Krishna because it belongs to Krishna, that is called Yukta Vairagya. So there is nothing to detach actually. This material detachment is a negation actually. That's what Prabhupada explains here. Further, he says that becoming detached from material thing does not mean inert altogether. Many people think that, okay, like let's renounce everything and become a yogi, go to Himalayas, don't do anything. But Krishna very clearly says in Bhagavad Gita that not a single moment you can survive without not doing any activity. Every moment we are performing activity through our body, mind and word. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. So from our body, our mind and words, we are performing activity at every moment. So how can we renounce activity? It's not possible that we can become inert. So then what is the point then how can we renounce? So become detached from material thing does not mean become inert altogether. What it says that as a man with poor fund of knowledge things, Nash karma means not undertaking activity that will produce good or bad effect. Means what Krishna is saying here, what Prabhupada is saying that Neshkarma means not doing fruitive activity. Doing bhakti activity, bhakti karma. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, it's mentioned that we should perform bhakti karma, not material karma. So when we perform ordinary karma, it produces good and bad effect. While when we do bhakti activity, that does not produce good and bad effect, rather it produces causeless mercy of the Lord. So negation here, Prabhupada says, negation does not mean negation of the positive. Means negation of bhakti also. People think that giving up everything means giving up bhakti also. No. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of non-essential does not mean negation of the essential. So the things that we have to perform, we should perform, like doing bhakti. But material things we should detach. So simply detachment from material forms does not mean nullifying the positive form. So bhakti cult is meant for realization of positive form. Because we see everything relationship with Krishna. We do not see anything separate from Krishna, which is negation actually. When you see, we see Maya, which is material energy. So if you see that Maya is separate from Krishna, there is a separate energy which is not belong to Krishna, then we want to reject that. But we don't see that way. We see Maya or material energy as energy of Krishna. So we use things in the service of Krishna so that we can convert material energy into spiritual energy. That's what Prabhupada said, that meant for realization of positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. When we use everything in Krishna's service, there is nothing to reject. There is nothing to detach actually. You automatically become attached to Krishna. Means when you perform bhakti to Krishna, we don't need to do any kind of material detachment because it's automatically performed. When you engage, when you engage 24/7 in Krishna bhakti, what you are going to announce? If you engage 24/7 in Krishna bhakti, when you have time or what you have to announce? You don't need to, you have nothing to attach because you are 24/7 and you are in Krishna bhakti. So when you perform Krishna bhakti 24/7, chanting Hare Krishna and deity worship and cooking and cleaning and all, where the negative things come? There's no negative things left because it's all positive. Therefore, with the development of bhakti cult, here Prabhupada says that further. Therefore, with the development of bhakti cult, with the application of positive service to positive form, one naturally becomes detached from inferior things and he becomes attached to superior things. Higher taste. As Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, Vishya vinivartante, niharasya dehina. So when you give up the lower taste, when you attach to higher taste, lower taste will automatically given up. When you eat prasadam, you don't need to eat non-offered food, right? When you always eat prasadam, where is the question of eating nonsense food? So when we get attached to higher taste, the lower taste will automatically go away. Vishya vinivartante, that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 2.59. You can see that verse, right? Where Krishna is saying that giving up the lower taste, you just attach to your higher taste and then you will automatically be there. So when we perform bhakti, there is no need to detach from any material activity because we don't perform material activity at all. When you perform 24/7 bhakti, where is a question of negative activity or the karma will come into picture. So similarly, here Prabhupada says that similarly the bhakti cult being supermost occupation of living being lets him out of material sense enjoyment. When we perform bhakti, we automatically out of sense enjoyment. There is no need to separate endeavor. Because bhakti itself is engaging ourselves into service of Krishna. Engaging our senses in the service of Krishna means you don't do sense enjoyment. You will not give scope for your senses to enjoy separately from Krishna. And that is a sign of a pure devotee. Prabhupada says that is a sign of pure devotee because he is not engaged in sense gratification. He is not a fool, nor is engaged in inferior energy, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by dry reasoning. By knowledge, you cannot understand that. We have to practically do this bhakti science. It actually happened by the grace of Almighty. Because in bhakti, the main important factor is the mercy of Krishna. Prasade sarv dukkha nam hani rastupajayate prasanna chesa yasu buddhi paryavatishtate. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, Prasade sarv dukkha nam. When we get the mercy of Krishna, Prasade means mercy of Krishna. So when we get mercy of Krishna, automatically our buddhi, our buddhi, which is contaminated right now, get free from that contamination and or engage in the service of Krishna. It actually happened by the grace of the Lord. So in conclusion, Prabhupada says that in conclusion, one who is a pure devotee has all good qualities, all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. So knowledge, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita, Janyate Ashubhairagam Gyaram Chandra. When a person becomes devotee, automatically all knowledge and all detachment will automatically come. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principle of bhakti. So bhakti, that's why bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being. So it's proved that by doing bhakti, all other things are included there, but by doing other things, bhakti is not there. So that's why bhakti is the topmost. When you do bhakti, bhakti is the topmost. Why? Because it includes everything. And bhakti is directly given by Krishna only. Bhakti, the Bhagavad Dharma, Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. There are various dharmas, as I say, for living entity, like Varnashram Dharma, Putra Dharma, Pita Dharma, Istri Dharma, Raj Dharma, they're all. So they're all dharmas are mentioned by various sages or various other people. They have Manu Maharaj, Yagyavalka, Parashar Muni, they have actually explained various dharma. But this Bhagavad Dharma is bhakti, is actually given by Krishna directly. Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavad Panitam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavad Panitam. This bhakti is actually given directly by Krishna only, while other things are given by other people. So that's why bhakti is the supermost, because it is given by Krishna. And bhakti includes everything, because by doing bhakti, all other processes follow automatically, simultaneously, one by one. So that's why bhakti is the topmost occupation. One and the absolute. Because what was the question? The question was that what is the supermost or what is the absolute and ultimate good Shreya for all human beings in general in this age of Kali Yuga? That is bhakti. So that question is being answered by Suta Goswami in these two verses, which basically the question raised in first question raised by the sages of Naimisharan in verse 1.1.9. Okay, let me stop here and see like if anyone have any comment or any questions. Okay, we have hand raised by Kalpesh Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Prabhu Srila.
So thank you for Prabhuji for such a wonderful explanation and references. Prabhuji, I always think about this on my end. When it comes to attachment and detachment subject, and thinking about Yukta Vairagya, that thinking that everything belongs to Krishna, that is absolutely right from the principal position. But then applying that in our life and acting and letting like doing the bhakti, we often I often like come across this, that when things I want to do for myself, I always say, okay, I'm doing bhakti and I'm doing yukta vairagya, because somewhere in my heart I don't want to leave that. At the same time, when I agree that situation, that okay, I am doing for Krishna, but let's say for some reason which I don't plan it, and some unforeseen things comes across and it gets lost, whatever I was thinking. That time it is not coming like, okay, like because I'm going into grief at that point. And when I'm lamenting about it, or I'm little getting stressed out in that thing. So what I feel within my heart is, sometimes it is very convenient position to see, where when we see ourselves doing, we of like it comes that okay, we are doing yukta vairagya, but I mean in the heart still it is staying, and we are not accepting that okay, I have an attachment towards it. I'm not using for Krishna properly, dovetailing properly. Because if I am dovetailing for Krishna, then Krishna has a full right to take it back whenever he wants to. But when he takes it back, I don't necessarily agree that, because I feel that I'm strongly attached to it. So how does that? Because this comes in several situations and different factors in like in our daily life. So how do we see that we are really applying that yukta vairagya in proper way, where we see everything as a Krishna? Because when we see everything, everything also includes losing our possession, not only gaining our possession, right? So how do we improve on that?
No, definitely. As I say, the Yukta Vairagya principle is application is mm, like is as long as we remember things, it's easy. But again, as you say that as a conditioned living soul, we have tendency to forget things, and this tendency will remain as long as we are not at the pure level, the pure bhakti level. So it's a practice, you know. As I say, when we hear something like some principle, hearing principle is one thing, and implementing principle is another factor. Right?
Mhm.
So when it's come to implementation, implementation is not something that you can achieve. Okay, say now 24-hour, I will try to implement this thing. Okay, I did it. Suppose you did it 24-hour, you apply everything as a Yukta Vairagya principle. But what happened next? See, in bhakti, thing is that principles are very easy to explain. But when you implement, it's just not implemented. It has to be time tested. So that
Mhm.
time tested thing is where we actually get trapped, because in time tested, when it's going to time test it, there are various scenarios that Krishna is going to test us. It's not just always the similar scenario, and
Yes.
different scenarios will be presented to us. And in those scenarios, as an expert, a bhakti practitioner, you need to implement those principles into that. Generally, like when we study in mathematics, so there are various logics, various theorems are there, and then when the problem comes, we have to apply different theories to come to the right answer, right? So similarly in bhakti, the bhakti principle is there. But when it's come to the practical scenarios, we have to use our intelligence. We have to use our bhakti to how to basically react that time. So it will be time tested, but that testing will be helped by Krishna. Krishna will help us. Krishna is watching all this scenario that we are coming through in our life. Krishna watching us each and every step, and Krishna is giving only those tests which we can pass. So as long as we have inclination, as long as we have dedication or towards the bhakti, Krishna will basically slowly will guide us in going forward. So my take on that is, yes, sometimes we might fail that Yukta Vairagya principle, but no problem. Next, move on, go to next. So it will
Mhm.
be, it might be lifelong project, or it might be go beyond the life, beyond this one human life. But point is that as long as we are stick on that, Krishna become pleased. Krishna is seeing our effort. Krishna is not saying, Krishna is not expecting us that we are 100% perfect human beings. We are not. If we are a perfect human beings, why we are in the material world, first of all? We have problems, that's why we are suffering here. So Krishna is seeing our efforts, how much dedication we are, and how much effort we are putting in the bhakti, and accordingly Krishna is responding. Ye yatham mam prapadante tam tadya bhajamyam. So it's not that Krishna is not expecting that on the very first day you put every activity in Yukta Vairagya principle. Krishna is, okay, you like today in the beginning you might be putting 10%, then 15%, 20%, 30%. It might be going like that, and one day you will be able to achieve 100%. It's going to be there, but we have to keep patience, but we have to keep working with that. That's what I
So
can.
keeping things in the mind and but not bringing into words or action, would that be a
Yes.
reasonable approach?
No, the first thing you need to actually bring those things in thought process, right?
Yeah.
See, anything you want to do, first you need to bring thought process, then you contemplate on that, then it's going to become action, right? So
Yeah.
our thought is very wide, but our actions are not that wide. Our actions are limited. We see, suppose in the mind, I can say that, oh, I'm thinking that I'm in Vrindavan. Can I be in Vrindavan physically? No. But in thought, I can be, right? Manasi thing, right? On the mind level, you can do anything. but physically, you are restricted. So that's why, like, first thing has to come from mind. And when your mind gets purified, then your action will get purified one by one.
I meant to say, when, let's say, feeling of losing possession comes, and we were thinking, oh, we were doing this Krishna consciousness and Yukta Vairagya at that time, but now feeling of possession is getting lost within ourselves. So that thought is coming in the mind. So at the best thing to do is not to say to anybody, and keep silence, and not to allow that to translate into any action, right? That is what
we have to
thought will come, right?
Yeah, we have to pray to Krishna at that time. When the feeling of possession comes, we have to pray to Krishna that Krishna is belong to you, not to me. I don't know why it's coming up.
Yes.
So we have to get rid of that actually first.
So praying method will work.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have another comment or question?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. This is Mulidhar Keshwaradas.
Hare Krishna.
I have one small question. So, you said, like, from all the yogas, like, Bhakti Yoga is given by Krishna, but for other yogas, you need to, it will, like, kind of, you have to, practice it. And Bhakti Yoga can be practiced by everybody and anybody. For other yogas, you need to practice, to go into an institution or an organization or going to some isolated place and all those. So you said, like, Bhakti Yoga is given by Krishna, not the other yogas. So I would like to know more about that.
When I say Bhagavad Dharma, I didn't say Bhakti Yoga, I say Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is the principles, like Bhagavad Dharma is the method through which we can achieve Krishna. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says that Dharma, like it's not Krishna, actually Yamraj, mentioning to his subordinates in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter number 3, he saying that Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavat Panitam. This Bhagavad Dharma is actually directly initiated by the Lord. It's given by the Lord directly. That how to achieve me. See, how to reach Krishna, only Krishna can tell us. So the only way we can reach to Krishna is through Bhagavad Dharma. Not by yoga, not by jnana, not by karma, not by other things. They cannot take us to Krishna. You were saying something, bro? I think I was hearing. Anyway, so this Bhagavad Dharma, which is basically the duties or the activities that we have to perform to reach Krishna, that is directly given by Krishna. So this while the other activities like yoga or jnana or those things, they are also coming from Krishna, but you cannot use those things to achieve Krishna. See, yoga can actually maximum take you to Paramatma. Jnana can maximum take you to the Brahman effulgence. Karma can maximum take you to the higher planetary systems. So they have limitations. They cannot really take you to the Bhagwan aspect. But bhakti, we can actually directly go to Krishna, which is the Sri Bhagavan aspect. So that Bhagavad Dharma is directly given by Krishna. That how to achieve me. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally comes and teaching us how to become a devotee of Krishna so that we can go to Golok Vrindavan. Without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, without being Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have not tell us, we would have not able to go to Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan is open to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. No other processes can actually take us to Chaitanya, to the Golok Vrindavan. Only the process of Bhakti Yoga, which is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's what in Srimad Bhagavatam it says that Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavat Panitam. This Bhagavad Dharma is established by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this Bhagavad Dharma is known by 12 Mahajans. Brahma, Narada, Shambhu. These are 12 Mahajans which are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. They know this Bhagavad Dharma. They are the real people who are actually propagating Bhagavad Dharma in this material world. So that's what I was saying, that Bhagavad Dharma is directly given by Krishna, while other things, other processes are there, but they cannot really reach directly to Krishna. And when we say Dharma, like Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is given by Manu Maharaj in Manusmriti. You can see that. Then the what is Putri Dharma, what is Putra Dharma, what is Raj Dharma. These are other dharmas are given by various other sages. Like Bhishma Pitama is giving various dharmas explained to Yudhishthira Maharaj. But even Lord might have given these dharmas, but this Bhagavad Dharma is directly given by the Lord. That's the principle that I was explaining actually. Is that clear, Bruno?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We'll take reflections from everyone from this class if no questions are there. Okay. So, Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranams, Adarsh to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice class, Prabhuji. Like it's so nice to hear like how Prabhupada clearly removed the confusion what bhakti means. For example, even before coming to US, for us, at least for me, oh, bhakti means you're going to temple to pray. What you're asking, that's all is meant God for. But only after in Krishna consciousness, this bhakti concept and how. So some of my notes that I really like, Prabhuji, from your class is, you said bhakti is like all inclusive. By doing all other things, bhakti is not there, but just by doing bhakti alone, all other things are there. So it's like, I like that, how you explained, and mainly why it is even more important because it's given by Krishna and it is the topmost occupation. And a couple other points, like anybody can do, irrespective of what your stage. Because people think, oh, I'm doing my bhakti. Every day I get up in the morning, I do my puja, then I'm done. That means my bhakti is done. As if that is like one period of for God. But then how, like in Krishna consciousness, how you said everything what we do is bhakti. That's how we get connected to Krishna. And it has no restrictions. That's and the last thing also, one more last thing I like, Prabhuji, you will become detached. It's not about renouncing what, it's like with doing what we are, with everything, by doing you're getting detached like that. But you're not escaping from doing. It's like only I shouldn't do this if I have to do bhakti. It's not like that. So that clarification, the way you explained it was really, I mean, like the purport, whatever Prabhupada was trying to convey, how you made it easy for us. That's thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you for your reflections. Next, who is going to do that?
Yeah, I'll do one thing. I'll call the names. So.
Let's start with you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So yeah, my thing that you explained that bhakti, the material people, some people think that bhakti is emotion, but as you said, it's a transcendental emotion, as we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt those transcendental emotions. So bhakti is not a material emotion; it's a transcendental emotion. It's a highest bhava. That Krishna Prema, that is very nice, Prabhuji. And as you said, it's a bhakti. Who can do bhakti? Anyone with the senses can do bhakti. Indriyavan. So these two things are my reflections, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Who is next?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was a very nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. The point which I noted was bhakti means engaging all your senses in the service of Krishna. For this, like, we don't have to do anything special to detach from any material things. Instead, if you dovetail all your everyday activities to Krishna, that falls under bhakti. That is my understanding from this class, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for a nice class and your association. Yeah, it's very important work.
I'm not getting your association. Turn on your camera. I want to take your association.
Yeah, sure.
You're talking like a Brahman. I can't see you, but I hear your voice. Yes.
Yes. So thank you for your class, Prabhu. So I understand, what is the definition of bhakti. You nicely guide us through Bhagavad Gita and definition of bhakti through different scripture references. That is nice. And I learn, that once you perform bhakti, you will get the knowledge, and that knowledge you will get the detachment. Not only detachment from material things, but at simultaneously attachment to the devotional service. So that is another point. And as you mentioned, bhakti can be done by anybody, whether it is male, female, children. It is very easy path to achieve devotional service, and I hope to do that for myself also. Hare Krishna, bro.
Thank you, Amol Prabhu. Thank you very much for sharing your reflections. Next, who's going to do it?
Ramcharan Prabhu, you want to share? So we have Narasimha Leela Prabhu. And Mataji.
Oh, Prabhu. Yeah, we have.
Achyuta Priya Mataji, you want to share our reflections?
Hare Krishna. Yes. Whenever we do like bhakti is a very easy process which anyone can follow anytime, anywhere, or anywhere, anytime. And when we practice this 24/7, taking each and everything as Krishna's service, then there is no possibility of we going into any negativity or doing any bad karma. Like, so it is the supermost occupation of human beings. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. So now we are going to have a sloka recitation here.
No, Prabhuji. I think kids are.
They're busy. Okay.
Yeah. So we have few more. Chatterjee Prabhuji, you want to share anything? And we have Sohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
My reflection is even if we, when we practice Bhakti Yoga, if we do not achieve success, we should keep on trying, and Krishna will help us to achieve that.
Thank you.
This is my understanding.
Thank you for sharing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sohini Mataji, you want to share your reflections? Okay. Yeah. And we just ask for reflections from Kalpesh Prabhu and then Murali Prabhu. Then we'll come to you, Mataji, the Priya Mataji. Just will quickly complete this. Kalpesh Prabhu, you want to share your reflections?
Yeah, sure. I can say that bhakti has become so simple, not knowing before, but with so many, Prabhuji explained so much definition. Like he gave a wonderful example of dog. And dog can do it, which becomes so easy, by using our tongue, and which makes me think that there is no other way if we cannot do. We do just use our tongue for eating prasadam and chanting the holy name, then mind will be always staying happy. And because with that connection only the yoga will accomplish. When we connect our mind with the holy name, then only yoga can be attained. Otherwise, and the tongue is the instrument for that. So I got that understood. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So Murali Keshav Prabhu, you want to share?
Yeah. So yeah, as I said, that point was really good. Where bhakti is, where everybody can perform bhakti, whereas for other processes, you really need to join something or go to a particular. There are requirements. There are certain requirements, but for bhakti, there are no requirements to perform, and it is the topmost, as it is, and we can achieve the best results, also by performing bhakti. So yeah, that point I took it's a very important, very good point. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. And yeah, Ashita Priya Mataji, you want to ask, right?
Yes, Krishna says in many times that come to me, surrender unto me. So when we take this bhakti very seriously, and Krishna sees our endeavor, our strong determination, and will really give us the good intelligence to practice the bhakti seriously. That's that is, I like that. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyone else left? I think everyone done.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining today and for giving your wonderful association. So yeah, very nice points, Prabhuji, and very nicely you walked us through that Prabhupada's purport. Very wonderful, and you connected with the Sastric verses. Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you all for listening and tolerating me. So Hare Krishna, everyone.
No problem, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you, and I want to glorify one thing, because you are inspiration to, especially me, because you started this during pandemic. You started that Bhagavatam class, evening Bhagavatam class, 2021. I think April or May, after pandemic started, and you are still continuing with that. So wonderful, Prabhuji. At 21, 22, 20, almost 4 years, you have been continuously taking that class every day evening. That's a very wonderful thing, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for that.
It's all your blessings, Prabhuji. Please keep bless me so that I can serve you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhasya Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Mahaprana ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.